Hey everyone, in this lecture video, we are going to see about neural network and what is biological neural network and artificial network and how it is working. Biological neurons are organic, highly complex brain cells that process information via electrochemical signals. So our brain cells will process information through the electrochemical signals, so it will transfer the stimulation, and while we are seeing the things it will be taken as an object. So like this we can the neural network in our brain cells will process the data. So while artificial neurons or mathematical model designed to mimic these behavior for machine learning, so we are implementing our brain cell activities into a machine using these artificial neuron. So biological neuron uses dendrites, soma, and axons for communities, whereas artificial neurons calculate weighted sum of inputs caused through activation functions. Both rely on interconnected structures, but artificial neurons learn by adjusting the mathematical weight via feedback, while biological neuron adapts through synaptic plasticity. So, biological neurons are fundamental units of our nervous system, but the human brain containing approximately 10 power 11 interconnected neurons. Also, the structure composed of dendrites, which gives the input to the brain, and soma, the cell body processing those inputs, and axon output transmission, and synapses or connections between these neural networks. Functionality means they process the information through electrochemical reactions, which signals traveling in spikes known as action potentials. So adaptability, they learn and modify their connection strengths based on experience, a process known as synaptic plasticity. Here we have the structure of biological and artificial neuron. Both natural intelligence and artificial networks works on networks of neurons. While artificial neurons draws ideas from biological neurons, they will still differ in structure, function, and adaptability. So on this slide, we are going to see about the comparison table between artificial neural network and biological neural. So the parameters are structure, learning, computing, reliability, and operating context. So structure, it will in artificial neural network, it will have inputs, some hidden layers, and it will have an output line. But in biological neural network, it has the dendrites, cell body, and axons to process the data, and it will give an output. So learning require in ANN, it requires structured formatted data, whereas in biological neural network, it can handle ambiguous, noisy inputs, and it will process based on the intelligence. In computing, it ANN will have a centralized, sequential, and program-driven approach to process these input, and it will produce an output. So in biological neural network, it has distributed parallel and self-learning thing to process these input data. In reliability, when it comes to reliability in ANN, it has vulnerable to damage or failures. In biological neural network, high fault tolerance and robustness. Operating content, it will have ANN will have a well-defined constrained environment, but in biological neural network, we will be having unconstrained, often unpredictable things in biological neural network. Thank you, everyone.